Hi everyone and welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this beanie that is a variation of our cable stitch beanie. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be pausing on my 100 days of beanies until the new year. So wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful, safe, healthy, happy holiday season and happy new year. I will be releasing a few of my holiday videos, so just keep that in mind. For this project, I'm going to be using size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, and this is just the Big Twist Value brand. And I'll also be using a size F or 5 crochet hook. And if you haven't already, then please check out my precursor video, and that is my how to crochet a beanie brim. And I will link to that in the description. And for that video, I crocheted a brim that is 8 stitches deep and 18 inches wide. And make sure that you've ended on a row that puts your crochet hook on the opposite side of your starting tail, and then join the two edges together like I show you how to do in that video. So I went ahead and sectioned my brim off into 4 equal parts, and I turned it inside out. So to get started, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 2 available loops along the edge of our brim. And I'm just going to crochet over my tail, and you don't have to, it's just an option that you have. And once you have your 2 double crochets in place, then we're going to place a double crochet in the loop directly behind your chain 3 stitch. And as you're doing this, you're going to want to pull that up nice and long. And that's your first cable stitch. So from here, we're just going to place a double crochet in our next loop. And that counts as your first cable stitch section. So from here, we're going to skip the next loop that we want to work in, and we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 3 loops. And then working backwards, you're going to place your double crochet in between your single double crochet stitch and your group of 3. And then we're going to place a double crochet in our next available loop. So now we've completed 2 cable stitch sections like this. So we're basically going to be using the double crochets to offset our cable stitches. And so our goal is to get 16 cable stitch sections going all the way around our row. So that means we need to place 4 in each of our 4 sections. And so using your stitch markers as a guide, go ahead and complete the other 14 cable stitch sections along your row. And once you've placed those 16 cable stitch sections, then we're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of our first double crochet. So make sure you're not placing this in the top of your chain 3, but in your double crochet stitch instead. And then from here, we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And to finish out our cable stitch, we're going to place our double crochet in our slip stitch. So make sure you're not placing this in the top of your last double crochet stitch, but in that slip stitch instead. And once you're done with your cable stitch, then we're going to place a front post stitch around our double crochet stitch. So to do that, yarn over and then insert your crochet hook around the stem of that double crochet stitch. Then yarn over and pull through that post. Yarn over and drop 2 loops, and then yarn over and drop 2 more loops. And then from here, we're going to skip our next stitch and place 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And working backwards again, we're going to place 1 double crochet in that skipped stitch. And then again, a front post stitch around our double crochet stitch. And that's going to be the pattern for the rest of the row, so we're just going to keep repeating the steps that we used to make this cable stitch section over and over until we have all 16 completed. And when you get to the end of your row, we're going to slip stitch into the top of our first double crochet stitch, so not our chain 3, but our first double crochet, and then we're going to chain 3 again. And from here, we're just going to repeat that last row over and over and over again to build the body of our beanie. So I went ahead and followed that pattern for 17 rows, but of course you could alter that depending on how slouchy you want your beanie. So to finish this off, all you have to do is just cut and tie off your yarn after you've placed your slip stitch. And I went ahead and cut a strand of yarn that is roughly 2 feet in length. And working on this last row that I made, I'm just going to weave my strand of yarn about every inch. So that should be about where my front post stitches are. And I'm just going to weave this going all the way along the top of the beanie. And once you're done weaving your yarn, then just pull both ends of that strand of yarn and tie them together as tightly as you can a few times. And in the description, I will link to my DIY pom-pom maker. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.